Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, you are never alone. And here on Invisible Condition, we know that life can be tough sometimes, right? If you're living with an invisible condition, especially if it's one that causes pain and discomfort, and I mean, most of them do, right? That's why they call it a condition. I mean, the condition I was born with has required 7 brain surgeries so far, so I get it, right? Things can get uncomfortable sometimes. Uh, the other thing is, though, is that there is always hope. And so if you find yourself today in a place of no hope, if you've lost your hope, let me know. I want to know. I want to know because I want to help you. So shoot me an email right here at this email address right here, and just put hope in the subject line. I would love to help you. Seriously, nobody should be without hope, and so I want to help. So, all right. The other thing is, I want to talk to you about our nonprofit partner here on Invisible Condition, which is Hydro with Hope. And Hydro with Hope was created. In fact, I'm going to grab a different. Where is it? The button pusher here. There it is. That's the one. Nope, that's the one right there. So Hydro with Hope is a nonprofit, the nonprofit partner of Invisible Condition. And that organization is one that we created a few years ago to help people with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is the condition that I was fortunate enough to be born with and live 48, almost 49 years on this planet with so far. And we aim to help families that are struggling. So whether it's when you go to that page, that is actually a donation page, because we are a honest to God 501c3 nonprofit. So any donation we appreciate. Thank you very much in advance. And you can even do recurring donations if you'd like. We have it set up that way. So thank you in advance for anything you can do. We love to help families. And so we have a journal that we've created to be able to walk people through that experience of, holy crap, we have to have brain surgery again. What do we do? I've got a journal that walks you through that whole experience and helps you keep track of medical records, helps you keep track of your doctor's stuff, all the things that make your head explode when you're faced with something like brain surgery, right? And so we want to help families. I love talking to families. My wife and I are both international speakers. We love talking and telling our story and speaking and spreading hope, because brain surgery should not be the end, it's the beginning. So anyway, that is Hydro with Hope. That is our nonprofit. If you feel led to give, we appreciate it. Now, I want to talk to you about our guest that is going to be on the show today. It's actually guests, 2 of them. There's 2 people today, husband and wife, Ed and Gisele Sardinha. So their story is pretty awesome, rooted in love and resilience and a refusal to accept silent suffering. I love these guys. That's me. I didn't like silent suffering either, man. I wanted a solution. I'm solution oriented, man. So are they. So after years of injury and physical wear and tear in the industry that Ed worked in for a long time, he found himself with constant pain that limited his mobility, and he was so active, stripped away his active life that he once knew. An invisible condition that affects obviously it affects every part of their life. It affects their family life, his work life, their personal life, their marriage. When you can't move, when it's hard to move, that's a problem. So together, Gisele and Ed faced, fear and frustration and uncertainty, and choosing faith and perseverance over resigning themselves to just, well, this is it, which I love, because believe me, if you've all heard my story, I didn't resign myself to that either. man, you got to search and you got to be your own best advocate. And that's what they did. So what followed was an unexpected healing journey that restored Ed's movement and reshaped their lives completely. And today, we're going to talk about it. They're going to share about what's possible when hope refuses to quit. So let's bring them on the show. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, Ed, Gisele, thank you for being here, man. This is fun. This is going to be good.
Howdy.
Hi, Jeff. How are you? Thank
So
you for
far, so
having us.
good, man. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
I do have a question that I like to ask everybody that's on the show. It's an easy question. There's no wrong answer. It's I love it because it's a question that I ask everybody. So on the tough days, both of you, because if you have a rough day, so does Gisele. and the other way around too, right? You're married, right? You said you've been married for almost 50 years, right? So
yes.
Right. So yeah, when you have a rough day, so does she, and vice versa.
Right.
On those rough days, especially when you were not feeling great, how did you guys still maintain hope?
Well, my wife is very loving and she's very caring, and she is just so encouraging, So she's always encouraged me, to not give up and to push through, the pain, she's been there for me, helped me, at times when I couldn't even dress myself.
Yeah.
And so she's been there, she's been my rock. She really has, and I couldn't have done it without her. I really couldn't. She's always been searching for something to help me, and I mean, we've tried, every lotion, potion, pill, drink, everything that's on the market out there. I mean, we've tried them, and just nothing seemed to work until now.
Love it. What about you, Gisele?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fire. I mean, you can't tell me no, I never stop. I'm always pushing through, I don't settle. I don't settle. And so that's why I kept saying, I got something else. I got something else.
And I'm like, here we go again.
Right.
And really, and actually, it did come to a point where I didn't know what else use, because it may have maybe sometimes taken the edge off or made him feel a little bit, more comfort, but it didn't restore or repair. And so then he actually heard an ad on the radio and he said, I want to look into it. And it was actually to have injections. And it was, I'm telling you, we spent a lot of money on everything. And this was the biggest expense, $10,000 to be spent to have him go through this procedure for his hip and for his shoulder.
My shoulder,
right? And it didn't work. It didn't work. So that's when things really started to snowball. And he really felt that there was no hope. There was nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I knew there had to be something. So,
nice. Well, let's dive in, man. I mean, I feel like we lived kind of parallel worlds for a while there, like it was for a different reason, but there was about a 10-year period that, it was like brain surgery for us at this house. And it was, and every single one of them between 2014 and 2021 came with some really wicked side effects that just leveled me from, a year of constant nonstop 24/7 migraine headaches to, not having a filter in the brain that blocks out background noise anymore, to large motor tics that were very painful and very tiring. I mean, you never know when you go poking around in the brain during surgery, what's going to come out of it. It's kind of like roll a dice and see what happens. And so I agree. We hit the ground running, and doctors, literally my doctor, my surgeon in 2014 said, geez, I'm sorry. I guess you're just going to have to live with headaches. And I said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. So we started looking, same thing, man. We exhausted that health savings account pretty good. And yeah, we went looking. So I love it. I love
acupuncture, even acupuncture we did, you know, I mean, some different holistic type of healings we tried. Yeah, that's right.
Nothing
Janet, she worked with him, with his body, and it just,
because I'm guessing you didn't want to just pop a pill for the rest of your life and be all doped up on pain meds and not be able to live, right? So that was me. I mean, if I would have just said, hey doc, I'm desperate, give me something, you know, he probably would have given me a, you know, turbo pain pill that I'd probably still be on today. Maybe be addicted to it, who knows, you know, depending on the drug.
Try to get him to take an aspirin or an ibuprofen was horrible. So forget it. There was no drugs he was taking.
I didn't want any medication.
Man, they sent me home with some turbo stuff from brain surgery. We had quite the medicine cabinet for a few years, but I didn't take. I took them, but it didn't make any difference because the pain was so bad that it didn't even touch it. And so the only thing that worked was the IV stuff in the hospital. And you can't take that home with you. And I didn't want it just sitting around, so we got rid of it. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not crazy about taking stuff.
Yeah, that was funny. A friend of ours even brought over some CBD stuff, and when he took it, it was like, oh my God! I thought I was going to lose the guy. You know?
See, that stuff didn't do it.
That is not going to work. That's no good either. Yeah,
I don't know. I won't do the THC stuff because that alters your brain a little bit. But I tried the CBD stuff and it didn't do anything. Like it tasted good, you know, it was good flavor, but it didn't do anything. It was like, why am I buying this stuff if it's not
going to make him so high he didn't know where he was?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Felt good for a little while.
So let's talk about the story, man. Like, where did you guys all start? You got married almost 50 years ago. You started a life. You're like, all right, we're in love. We're gonna do this. We got dreams. We got right. And then you know, how was early life? It was normal, right? Everything was cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, we were you know, in love. We
two on the go.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything together. Everything. And you know, we were both very active. I used to, for 17 years I was involved in martial arts. I taught martial arts, you know. I boxed. I had my trainer wanted to take me to Canada to box, you know. Cool. You know, and I just did everything I could, you know, to enjoy life. Raced motocross. What else? Football. I played football in high school as well as after high school. I played in an adult league, and that's where I dislocated my right shoulder.
That's when things started. Besides the motocross, where he damaged your knee somewhat with that, didn't you?
Well, with the motocross, right.
And then the motorcycle accident, where he was literally left for dead. This before cell phones, so he was on the highway and damaged.
I hit a car broadside doing 65 miles an hour.
Yikes! I have a friend that did something like that. The car hit him head on at some crazy speed, and he had his son on the back of the bike too.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, his son was fine, but he had a long road ahead of him.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he was still doing the martial arts, so he had a good shape, and even the doctor, I still know, was a miracle. Besides, because our third son had to be born. But he hit the car with his whole chest area. Didn't break anything. They couldn't find anything, but they didn't do the right X-rays, because later you found out that you had
I had a separated shoulder, my clavicle separated.
But it was too late for them to fix, because it was when they found it.
The tendons had already deteriorated, so they couldn't repair it.
Yeah.
So basically, you beat the crap out of yourself for the last the first 20 whatever years of things, 30 years, with everything you can think of. But it was fun, right? So, you know,
of course.
Pursuit of fun.
Doing ballroom dancing. Then our later years, what we did together is the ballroom dancing, which was, you know, something we took lessons 3 times a week, danced the other 2 times. So you're talking 5 times, you know, a week. We're doing all sorts of dancing and so forth. Yeah.
And then it started to catch up with you a little bit. And like when you can't beat the crap out of yourself for the first 30 years and not expect to have, you know, some consequences, right? So shoulders and hips and knees and things start to, you know,
around 60.
Yeah, well, you don't think about those things, you know, when you're young, because I mean, you know, it's like I dislocated my right shoulder 3 times.
Oh my gosh!
So I didn't give up the first time. You know what I mean?
No. Let's see how I can do it again. Yeah.
Yeah. And the 3rd time I put it back in with putting my fist underneath and pressing my arm down and it popped back in.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious.
He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Yeah.
I mean, you and I could probably go toe to toe on pain tolerance, but that's insane. That's next level right there. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that was part of it. Having a high tolerance to pain kept him going and going and going no matter what. And then
until your body says nope.
This magical number of 60 where everything starts to, all the little engine lights start going on.
It wasn't until I was 52 years old that I started having trouble seeing things. Things started becoming blurry. You know, it wasn't until then. But I must say, right now, things have improved.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a part 2.
Well, so we'll get there.
Eye vision even improved.
We'll get to that part, but that point, because that's where we're gonna talk about that in the next segment. But yeah, man, you have done a really good job of living to the fullest, and Gisele went along for the ride, you know, and you know, doesn't sound like you got quite as you didn't come out with quite the same results though. I think Ed kind of took the brunt of all of that.
Oh no, I just kind of watched him. Yeah, I went for some of the motorcycle rides and the canoeing, but I didn't do all the the other activities.
Well, I mean, that's why women live longer than men usually, right? That's because they work hard doing all that stuff, and they go, "Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. I'll be over here reading a book." Yeah. That's why my wife, she says, if we ever, like, I've been snowboarding for 30 years. I love snowboarding.
Wow.
And started when I was like 15, never looked back. It's been over 30 years. She I tried to teach her to snow. I was like, don't take a lesson, I'll teach you. Well, when you're a teenager, you're an idiot. And so I got her, I did a really good job of making her hate snowboarding. And so because I just took her to the top and said, see you at the bottom.
Oh my God, our son did that.
Like in what was it, the movie Better Off Dead, right? Did you ever see the go that way really fast. If something gets in the way, turn. You know, that's not good instruction. So anyway, she doesn't like to slide down the hill with me on a snowboard. She's like, you go crazy on the hill. I'll be in the lodge. You know,
I did the bunny slope. Yeah, that happened to us. Our son, our oldest son, was because he used to be on the ski team, not team, but ski club and in school. And so we went with the 3 kids, and I was on the bunny slope with the little one. And my son says, "Oh, come on, Dad."
Yeah, Dad, you're ready. You're ready for the Black Diamond.
But I don't think he knew you were taking you to the Black Diamond. You were up at the top, and it was like, "Oh my God, well, you better go down now, Dad." Nice. And I think you fell, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I went face first,
probably.
And I think I cleared off the whole slope. You know? There was no snow left. You know? It was all my face.
See, that's the secret. That's what I tell people with snowboarding. They say, "Why would?" And they say, "Why snowboarding? That could be really dangerous." I said, "The secret is just don't fall. That's all. Just you know, that's my secret. Just don't fall. You'll be all right. You don't have to worry about injuries that way." Well, I'll tell you what, this is awesome. We're gonna go to a break here for just a couple minutes. And when we come back, we want to talk about kind of, okay, so you've lived this life to the fullest, and your body's kind of been like, what are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me? And it's kind of had to pay some consequences, but you found something that really, really turned it around for you. And I want to talk about that when we get back from the break. That can help others. You found something that can help you, and that you can actually share with others that can help them too. And I'm excited to take this journey with you guys too. So we'll go do that as soon as we come back. I need to unfortunately my coffee is running low, and so I'm going to go refill it. And we will be right back. So we'll see you guys in just a couple minutes. Thank you for being here. All right, everybody. Anybody that's been watching for any length of time know that I can't have my coffee run low. Okay, that's not okay. So I have to. So I'm a coffee nerd. In case you haven't heard, I'm a coffee nerd, and I love great coffee. I don't like bad coffee. I love great coffee. If a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date on it that's within the last couple of weeks, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm into fresh coffee that's roasted well, and that's why I love Mike at Roast to Order Coffee. He gets it. Okay, at Roast to Order Coffee, they roast the beans fresh. They ship them to your door. They're always coming up with amazing new ideas of, oh, we should try this, we should try that. Yeah, he listens to his audience, basically, is what I'm saying. And so, there was a time he's like, oh, we don't have flavored coffee. How come you don't have flavored coffee? Oh, well, let's try it. So now he has flavored coffee. Hey, how come you don't have those little K-cup pod things that people use? Oh, well, okay. So now he has that, and they're selling like crazy. Whether you're the Ethiopian light roast guy or the espresso girl or the decaf couple or whatever, if you like the flavored coffee, Mike's got you covered. He's even got e-gift cards and coffee subscriptions. So for the coffee lover in your life, or coffee snob or coffee nerd or whatever you want to call them, this is the perfect gift. This is the perfect way to do it. And if you scan that QR code right there, you will get 20% off your first purchase. So, all right, we'll see you in just a couple minutes. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships right here on E360 TV.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Ed and Gisele. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. If you missed the first segment, go back on the replay and watch it because it was awesome. You got the little bit of the story, a little bit of the I'm invincible, so I get to do whatever I want for a while story of early in life, right? Like most of us do. And then the consequences came from those choices, and all the fun started. So one of the things I do want to just throw out there is, if you are watching on any of these platforms, if you're watching, like, of course, you can watch on so many different places, so many different outlets are available to watch the show. And thank you for being here, no matter where you're watching, if you're on Apple TV or Roku TV, YouTube or Amazon Fire TV, but if you're on Facebook or YouTube watching, you can comment. And so if you hear something from Ed or Gisele that makes you go, wait, what? Say that again? I don't believe you. Or, I want to hear more, or I want to talk to you about this, or whatever. Just drop a comment in the chat on Facebook or YouTube, and we can get back to you. Also, the other very simple way to do it is, if you have questions about anything we're going to talk about in the second segment, because we're getting into how did Ed bounce back from all of that, and how's he doing now, and there's a reason for that, and that's part of what that QR code is. And that phone number will go directly to somebody that can answer your questions and help you. So let's get into it. Let's dive in, man. You discovered that you weren't invincible anymore, and tried a whole bunch of stuff that didn't work very well. Like, I tried some stuff that was temporary too, like temporary relief from the migraines that I had after that surgery, right? But it always came back, right? Until you found something that worked well, right? That actually did something that made a difference. So what initially caught your eye about, like, well, first of all, what did you find that actually worked? Like, I want to know that first. Let's talk about that.
Well, I have great faith, and it came when my husband was at a total breaking point, where we were sitting in the kitchen, and he was crying, and he said, I don't want to live anymore. I just don't want to do this. I can't do this. I said, are you serious? And he said, I'm serious. I can't live. We can't dance. We don't have a future. And if I can't love my wife and live and do all the things, it's not for what? For what? I was in, and nobody knew this, because my husband, as you can see from his personality, he's a happy guy. I mean, he's always happy. Everybody says he's always smiling. So even before, when it got to a point, it was actually in March of 24 is when everything snowballed. But in January and February, he was still pushing. He was still trying to do the work on the properties that we have, but he only could stand up for like 15 minutes at a time. And then when he couldn't even hold a hammer with two hands to hammer a nail, and things were just getting worse, but nobody was seeing his pain. And, even our kids didn't have any idea how bad he was feeling. And, when he said that, he really wanted to throw in the towel. I remember I walked into the office, I put my hands over my head, and I said, oh my God, there's this, I can't believe this. And I said, there's got to be an answer. There's got to be an answer. Father God, there's got to be an answer. Yeah. And I remember I just let it go. And literally within 48 hours, a colleague of mine, and from a past, business that we were in, texted me. And I looked at it and I went, oh, I figured, I didn't, I didn't want to hear what she had to say, brush it off. But the prompting was so strong. I think it was like on a Monday or Tuesday. By Saturday, the voice was like, call her. I was like, okay.
All right, leave me alone.
I called. So Kelly, what's up? Oh my God, Gisele, I got to share this with you. I was really, She said, I'm telling you, my husband, Patrick, he had surgery on his, I believe it was his right knee. And now they want surgery on his left knee. And that's the last thing he wants to do. He doesn't want to go through all the pain, the 3-month rehab, and the whatever. And she said, so we tried this plant-based product, she said, and it literally within, she said 90 days, he actually was back to riding his bike 20 miles a day, golfing again, when he could even barely, he always sat in the car and, it was very hard for him to get around. He wouldn't even bother going grocery shop, whatever. He was just like really in a poor place. And so I said, really? She said, yeah. So that's when she asked me, well, Gisele, what do you know about stem cells? And that's when I said, well, not too much. Why? And do you want me to explain, or you don't want me to explain?
I mean, sure. I mean, everybody kind of is like, nowadays it's kind of a buzzword, right? So stem cells seems to be
they
like
go,
it's like stem cells. But there's a difference, and there's lots of companies out there that are talking about like, oh yeah, we can do this with the this pill, this drink, this patch, this thing, this whatever, and it's and everybody is talking about it like it's the hottest thing since sunburn, but it's but does it actually work? That's the question, right? How does it work, and does it work? So how does this work, and why is it different?
Well, this is what she was explaining to me, because she said, what happens as we age, our stem cells deplete as we age.
Right.
And she said, your stem cells are your master cells. And the correlation is with the amount of stem cells you have will also determine your longevity and your quality of life. Because if you don't have those little Pac-Man or armies or fire trucks, whatever you want to vision, ambulances going around doing their work, then you're going to have all this chronic pain. And if you've had injuries, you have no repair. So think of it, she is there. And the beauty of your stem cells, well, first of all, they come from your bone marrow. And as you age, they become stagnant in there, like a fatty yellow tissue, and you'd have very little that are being released. So this is actually a formula that it's 7 plants together that synchronize to actually release, stimulate and release an additional 5 to 7 million additional stem cells.
Wow.
With each dose that you take.
Good.
And we have the clinicals from Stanford that prove that within 2 to 3 hours, you have an additional 5 to 7 million stem cells that are being released. Now,
but everybody, like, so there's stem cells, but like, and I only have a little bit. I only know enough to be dangerous about this. So you gotta bear with me here. You gotta maybe correct me where I'm wrong here, but there's different types of stem cells, right? So there's stem cells that reconstruct this and reconstruct that, and maybe
stem cells are pluripotent. So those stem cells that are released from your bone marrow are pluripotent, which means they're generic. So they have no identity. So this was the mind blow, is that, so what happens is you have those 5 million going around, and they also get a signal from the injured part of your body to say, like calling 911.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, they go to that part of the body. It can be any organ, it can be the liver, it can be the brain, any tissue, any part of your body that's in disrepair, it will go and repair. If it can't repair, it will actually replace with a brand new liver cell or whatever cell.
It morphs.
It morphs.
And these bodies that God created for us are smart enough that that the stem cells from the bone marrow know where the most urgent problem is.
Right.
And know what types of cells need to be created to help that and repair it. That's brilliant.
Right.
And this is just a way to release more, basically.
Yeah, it's just a way to stimulate your body to heal itself. Your body is healing yourself. You're not adding any stem cells. You're not adding any, exogenous materials or whatnot. It's all working with your body. It's 7
You're using
plants.
what you already have, basically.
It's what you already have. It's natural plants and herbs, and it actually and you either can take it in a capsule or in a liquid and drink it. And your body, it will go to the most compromised and damaged part of the body first. So of course, the more you have, injuries you have, it's going to take time, how it generally works on everything. But so when she told me about this, I was like, all right, well, whatever. She goes, I guess I got to do something. It was almost like the last shot. So I remember when I told Ed, he literally rolled his eyes like something else. I said, well, what are we going to do? You got to try it,
Right.
Yeah.
So
remember what you just said to me about wanting to give up? Let's one last ditch effort here, right?
Right.
So what was your response, Ed? Like you saw this, you're like, oh, come on, really? Another one of what is this stuff?
I said, look, I'll try it, but I didn't have any hope. You know what I mean?
No expectations
I didn't think it was
or anything.
No belief in it.
I didn't, until I tried it and I started seeing results. I didn't believe it was doing anything.
So what did you? So you started. Okay, so you started taking some of the things that you got from
two products actually,
and you started taking some of it. And how, like, what's the first thing you noticed? Like, how fast did it work? What was the first thing that you noticed? Was it what you expected, or was it faster?
Well, it wasn't what I expected, and I didn't expect it to see a result in the short time that I did.
How short?
I thought this might be something that you got to do it over a long period of time. But I think after 2 weeks, I said to my wife, I said, kind of under my breath, something, I think this stuff is working.
Careful, you're admitting it's actually working.
Literally whispered it. I was like,
it.
what? Did you say what? Really? What? Because when he used to, he was sleeping in a recliner, and I knew he was getting up because every time he goes to stand up, he'd scream in pain, scream because his knees were so bad.
Yeah, it felt like my right knee was going to pop out of the socket every time I stood up. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Ooh, he didn't scream." Yeah. And then he shuffled in. He was walking around like this old man, shuffled into the room, sat down, and then he turned his head away from me. Like he was there. He turned his head that way away from me, and he said, I think it's working. I said, what? He didn't want to. I said, why? He says, okay.
Say that again?
You can say, what did you say? Yeah. What did you say? Well, I know what you said, but you can.
I said, I think it's working.
Yeah, I know. But I said, well, how do you know? Why? How do you know it's working? What happened? And you said,
I don't remember.
I'll tell you, because he said, because I don't have any pain, you said.
Right. Well, yeah, I didn't have the pain in my knees that I had. Every time I tried to stand up, I didn't have the pain in my knees that I had. And it didn't feel like my knee was going to pop out of the socket any longer.
Nice. Well, that's good. Nobody should feel that.
But then you did say, but they're still stiff. They're still stiff.
There was still stiffness.
He was trying to,
Right.
Well, all right.
But there was a difference already. Within 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, when we combined the two products, it was actually, you had taken just one product for 3 weeks. And Kelly says, with his condition, you really need to add the other one, which was a nitric oxide activator. Because when you put the two together, it was like shooting the stem cell activator in a cannon. And it literally, I remember he took it, and within actually 2 days, it really activated. He was starting to feel there was something going on, and you could feel a difference and something happening, but it didn't really break through until we put the two together.
Love it. And I'm like, guys, I'm this is so cool. We actually got, I don't want to, but we're going to go to one more break. And then when we come back, it'll be a short break. And then when we come back, I want to talk more about this because I mean, anybody living with anything that causes them pain, whether it's visible or invisible. I mean, it doesn't have to be an invisible condition. It could be something completely visible that you've been living with, So we're going to talk about, who could benefit from this and why they would even try it, like what's the deal. And so we'll cover we'll tackle a lot of that when we come back. I'm gonna don't worry, that'll come back. It'll be back in a minute. Okay, the QR code. So you'll get to scan it here in a minute. So everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere. We still got a few minutes left. So we'll see you on the other side of this break.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck, on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines, which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hey everyone, Coach Greg here from Living Empowered TV, where we help women live empowered lives through amazing guests, life hacks, mental, physical, and emotional health. See us on the Achieve Network, 12 o'clock Wednesdays Pacific time on E360 TV. Don't miss out.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are almost done. We got about 10 minutes left, but we gotta talk about this a little bit, because I when I met Gisele a while back, I kind of felt the same way. Honestly, I was like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. I was born with this condition. I've been living with pain my entire life, like literally every day for my entire life, from brain surgery, from the side effects from brain surgery. I mean, headaches are nerve damage, all that. Like, come on, you really? I'm kind of in your boat, Ed. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So I invite everybody that's watching to call me on it. Like keep track, keep watching, because I'll talk about it. I'm gonna keep this QR code going throughout the show for the foreseeable future. You will see this QR code on the show quite a bit from time to time now, and so because I want to give this a shot, give it a real shot, and see if it can help me. Somebody that's been living with the same invisible condition since my first brain surgery at 2 weeks old. Right? So I've been going through surgery since I was 2 weeks old. So if anybody can give a testimonial of this stuff, it's going to be me. So I'm excited to give it a shot. So let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. And if anybody has questions, that's the phone number. If you're just like, you know what, I'm in. Let's just try it. That's what the QR code's for. Just scan the QR code, go to the website. You can try out whatever you want. But I would highly recommend using that, texting somebody on that, or texting or calling on that number, and reaching out and asking questions if you have questions, because it's always good to get answers. So anyway, so let's talk some more about all this, because it's really cool, and I'm kind of intrigued here. So
Jeff, can I say one thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us, while we were both taking, this STEM, both of us went to the eye doctor and to the dentist.
Nice.
And both of us, our eyes have improved, and both of us, our teeth, our gums have improved. Like when they check they measure the gums.
Yeah, the receiving gums and all that stuff. Yeah.
Both of us, they've improved.
Nice. But the eyesight was the biggest thing for me. the eye doctor, she kept, she was doing the thing and she was clicking and kept going, I said, oh my God, is it that bad? Because every year my eyes get really, really worse because I wear contacts. And I knew I was having a hard time seeing through them, figuring, oh my gosh, they got to, have a stronger prescription again.
Bad news? Yeah.
And when she said, how old are you? You're not eyes aren't supposed to get better when you're in your 60s. That's not possible. That's not possible, she said.
Right.
Yeah. So it was doing,
there's a lot of
healing
stuff
all
that
the
they
stuff.
don't. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they think is impossible, but because they operate in a world of studies and averages and past experience, and they don't, and the anomaly is the anomaly for a reason, because they don't, they discount that. They're like, oh, well, like for me, 7 brain surgeries in, and you would never know that. I've never taken a regular prescription medication for anything ever in my life. That is a totally anomaly thing for somebody with hydrocephalus, and the doctors don't know what to do with me. And so, but it's a good thing, right? Same thing with your eye doctor. He looks at you and is like, I can't explain it, so it must be a fluke.
She said it's a miracle. It must be a miracle. I said, no, it's got to be the stuff I'm using. She literally said it must be a miracle. I said, I don't think it's a miracle.
Not for it to happen to both of us.
It is, it's working. Yeah. So all right. So what are some of the, what have you encountered? Like obviously, Ed, your story is incredible. You're probably feel like you got your life back, after being, sitting in a chair all the time. What are some, like, do you have other people that you've heard or that you've helped or that
of course I've shared with family and friends. My cousin, one cousin in particular has fibromyalgia, and she has a lot of other things too, and she's now telling everybody at church and whatnot, she used it for quite a while because, she was afraid that people, didn't want to hear what she had to say. But ever since she's been using it for a year now, like ourselves, and she hasn't had one flare up since she's been using, not one. And she was so bad you couldn't even touch her or give her a hug, her condition. She's, her knees are better besides her fibromyalgia, and just a lot of other, she has a lot of other health conditions, and everything's coming out better and better. Her son-in-law has neuropathy, and he just basically started on it not too long ago, and he says, I just feel better, at the first week or two. I don't know, I just feel good. I feel good. Now that he's been on it for a bit, he said, wow, my neuropathy, it's getting better and better. He can feel it diminishing. It's not totally gone, but he's feeling it. It's working, and he hasn't been on it that long.
Well, and for people that have been living with this, like for me, I mean, I'm almost 49 years in on this crazy hydrocephalus thing, and when you've been through that many surgeries, when you've been through that much kind of unimaginable pain, I mean, when you've been through that much pain that nobody else can even fathom, you feel things faster. Like when they would do, I had an adjustable shunt at one time. I had 2 different shunts that were adjustable, and that was a thing. They tried that. So that was 2 brain surgeries we did for those. And when they would adjust it, I would feel it instantaneously. Like most people wouldn't feel it till they got home. My body is so, because of all those surgeries, I'm so in tune of what's going on in there. I have a feeling that, taking stuff, it's like, oh, yep, there it is. So I have no doubt. I'm pretty excited to experience this.
Well, that's what it was like with my cousin. She's so sensitive. I mean, when I gave her a dose to try it, she was like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. I feel so great. Oh my God.
You're like,
I said, oh my God, Sandy, you've only just taken one. I've never seen anybody like that. But generally it is a holistic, product. So it's not, I don't want people to think they're going to, the pain's going to be gone in 24 hours, because it's not, it's not a drug. You
every
know,
body is
but
different. Every person
everybody's
is different.
different. Everybody's
right,
different.
yeah.
So
Everybody's
for care,
different.
so we got about 3 minutes left. So, what would you say if you can encapsulate this in 2 or 3 minutes, like for caregivers, spouses, people out there that are in the situation you were in, that were in the situation Catherine and I were in, my wife and I were in, about trusting your instincts, like you heard from, you're like, okay, fine. All right, fine. Stop talking to me. And you followed your instincts, and you're like, that was the best thing you ever could have done. So what's your
Absolutely.
advice for people out there in that respect?
I would say my advice to them is you have to try this. I mean, it's going to do something. It may not be like right away on whatever it is you want it to do, but it's going to do something some way. It's going to be healing, no matter what. It's going to be healing. I couldn't even pick up my cup of coffee to bring it to my mouth. My shoulder would pop, and I'd spill the coffee would spill. You know what I mean? And now I don't have a problem, grabbing my cup of coffee and bringing it to my mouth.
He's back to working on the
Back to
apartments,
working,
doing
yeah.
all sorts
So
of things. We're back to dancing.
I would tell people that it's not a miracle drug. It's not a miracle, but it's going to do something. I don't care if it's maybe you don't feel it right away where you want to feel it, but it's working. It could be working on something else.
That's more
that you didn't even know what's going on, maybe.
Right.
Right.
That you may need it there more.
First.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it definitely will work,
Nice.
and it's helped me tremendously because, I couldn't even go for a walk with my wife. And just recently we went on a couple of vacations. One of them, we walked like 12 miles up the mountain.
Nice.
Yeah, it was actually we
Iceland.
started in April. Well, we started in April of 24, and then in September we actually went to Italy to see to get together with friends of ours who are going to be our also our future son's in-laws, and they live in Italy on this cliff. And you have to walk all down these stairs to go to for breakfast to the cafe, and you go all the way back up these stairs. And we walked the streets of Athens, and I kept saying to him, "How you doing, babes? How you doing?" "I'm good. I'm good." "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." I mean, when we thought go to March of 24, he was ready to throw in the towel, and here in September, we're walking in the streets of Europe, climbing stairs.
I love it.
Walking up hills.
Amazing.
And yeah.
So the point is, so we got to go, but I wish we could talk longer, but we're at the end, man. But good Lord, this is so cool. And thank you so much for coming on and being so real with this. I mean, you were hurting, man. And now you're not. And it's not instantaneous, but it sounds like it's really helped, and you're continuing the journey, and I can't wait to hear what happens next. So thank you so much, both of you, for being here and being so willing to tell your story. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be able to share this with other people.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Stick around so we can chat afterwards. All right.
Okay.
All right. Don't go anywhere. All right, man. Okay, everybody. So seriously, here it is. If you have questions. So, all right, I'm going to leave that there because this is important, but join us. Thank you, by the way, for being here. I couldn't do this without you. So thank you to all the viewers out there. Everybody, thank you. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. Join us for our next show, which is Tuesday, January 27th. And follow, subscribe, share all the things. And, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.